Thanks for staying with us. So the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment plays a crucial role in driving Nigeria's economic growth. Since its inception, the ministry has implemented various initiatives to promote industrial development, trade and investment. With a focus on diversifying the economy, the ministry aims to reduce dependence on oil and gas. Through strategic policies and programs, the ministry supports small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, and promotes entrepreneurship. The ministry also works to improve the ease of doing business, attracting foreign investment and increasing Nigeria's participation in international trade. Now, under the leadership of the Honorable Minister, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, the ministry has often reiterated its commitments to create a conducive business environment. Joining us live from Abuja studio is the minister herself. She will be providing insight into the ministry's initiatives, priorities and plans for promoting industrial growth and trade. Welcome to the show, madam.
Good morning, thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, ma. So we've heard a lot about, supporting small and medium scale businesses and, promoting a lot when it comes to the businesses, entrepreneurship. The ministry is really doing a lot to also attract, foreign investment into Nigeria's portfolio. I would like that you help us highlight some of the policies in this regard that is supporting some of these ventures that the ministry is about.
Thank you very much. Let me start by wishing TVC a very happy 12th birthday.
Thank you.
I'm listening to all of you just now talking about Fan Yogo and a lot of joy and energy, which I am also feeding off of this morning. That links me to exactly why we're here, speaking of businesses and just the kind of productivity and competitiveness that we need from Nigeria's private sector. The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is tasked with supporting all sizes of businesses to attract investment and retain investment, also to make sure that the trade policy is in place to feed into industrialization. Under the Renewed Hope Agenda, the 8-point agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, Item 7 speaks to accelerating diversification across the board. So this ministry, the first thing to note is that we're an enabler. We work with all other ministries. We work very hard with private sector to build trust, to support, and to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Okay. So I'm going to divide, because it's a very large ministry, I'll take about 3 segments today. The first thing I want to discuss is investment mobilization. So we believe that supporting the businesses that operate in Nigeria is the first policy terrain, mobilizing investment retention, making sure that the businesses in Nigeria are the best advert for the Nigerian economy. So we speak to their challenges, whether it's regulatory, whether it's legislative. We engage a lot with private sector. Many of you know I've been doing this for a long time, and we continue to highlight the challenges, working with fiscal authorities, monetary authorities, to ensure that that trade and investment pillar is very well represented in the economy. So the ministry, for instance, works on different policy streams for different sectors. Some of our priority sectors for attracting investment would be agriculture, agribusiness, solid minerals, a lot of digital trade. You would have heard me talk about digital trade a lot of times and the role that that plays with Nigeria's youthful population, tech-savvy population, manufacturing, infrastructure. Those are some of the areas that we've been selling across the world for foreign direct investment. You know that Mr. President himself is our Chief Investment Officer since he resumed office. As at December 2024, he had already generated $50.8 billion in investment announcements from all his foreign trips and state visits. And this is money that we're tracking. NIPC is responsible for that and making sure that that investment comes in. That's one of the agencies under this ministry. And you can see that, for instance, the Brazilian brothers, they've already been visiting sites across the country to make sure that the investment becomes an actuality. And that was just from September 2024.
Yeah, I would like to get in a few more questions.
Policy,
because I know if I leave you, you
really
will.
Important.
Can you hear me?
Sorry?
I want to get in a few more questions. Yes. I know if I leave you, you reel out everything you have achieved.
And for us, it's really key that the audience can connect with what you're saying. So I'm a huge fan. Let me just start with that. I'm a huge fan because I followed you before you became... I said I should start with the fact that I'm a huge fan of you personally before the ministry, and I felt this was a very important role that we couldn't afford to politicize. So I was excited when you got to be the minister, and based on the things that you have done, I feel we should highlight the achievements of the ministry under your leadership and the leadership of the president. So a few days ago, you signed this new trade agreement within Africa for Africa Day, where we now have the AfCFTA, where there's a discount on this African products within Africa. Because I strongly feel that many Nigerians are thinking of trade and international trade, not looking at the fact that we have a huge trade opportunity within Africa. So it was exciting that we now have a way where Nigerian products can be exported to other countries within Africa, and it is benefiting from 50% less tariff. Can you break it down for products, people that are watching now who produce in Nigeria? What are the benefits?
Yeah, so that's basically one of the most exciting things. On Sunday, we launched the kickoff of an air cargo corridor between Nigeria and 13 countries in Eastern and Southern Africa. That collaboration was with UNDP, with Uganda Airways, which is a government-owned airline. And what that did was it reduced the cost of cargo by 50 to 70% for Nigerian MSMEs. Now that was negotiated with organized private sector, NASIMA, NASME, WASIMA, which is a female subsidiary of NASIMA, yes. And they negotiated a flat cargo rate. And so one of the exporters said to us that from spending $1,000, she's now spending $260.
Wow.
Now, we also followed that up on Monday. So the maiden flight for that corridor went on Sunday from Abuja and Monday from Lagos. And if you're a member of one of those organized private sectors, you can join them and you can be entitled to that rate. I also know that one of those organized private sectors is already talking with another airline. But for Nigerian products going to Eastern and Southern Africa, we then did a mapping, again with UNDP, a market intelligence tool that tells you which of your products is in the high demand in those countries. So we know that, for instance, our textiles, our cosmetic products, our food products, value added. So I'm talking about plantain chips, chin-chin, I'm talking about zobo, I'm talking about shea butter, all those kinds of things. I'm talking about fashion. Some of these Nigerian exporters went to Namibia on a trade fair last year, and believe me, the fashion they were wearing, even the outfit that one of the business owners was wearing, they made her change and sell that. They came back completely sold out. So these are some of the practical steps. Under the African Continental Free Trade Area, Mr. President approved, we've gazetted the tariff schedule, and so Nigerian businesses can have a preferential tariff all across the continent. This is important, particularly for our non-oil exports, for our female-owned and youth-owned businesses. MSMEs are nearly 50% of this economy, so we're prioritizing supporting them with market access, with trade facilitation. The National Single Window Project is on. Customs has been reforming their processes to make sure that it's easier to get through the ports. NAFDAC, SUN. We continue to work on all these areas to really deliver concretely for Nigerian businesses.
Okay, so with the whole fluctuation of foreign exchange, with different policies being made here and there, with certain IOCs leaving the country, what does the ministry plan to achieve? How does the ministry plan to achieve the goal of making Nigeria a preferred destination for investment, to attract more investment into the country? You know, with everything going on with our different policies fluctuating policies every day.
It's really just the hard work. We continue to make sure that this economy, even the toughest skeptics will admit that we've been able to stabilize the economy. with the tough reforms that Mr. President went into, straight from removal of subsidy, unifying the Nigeria rate, the tax bills that are currently in progress and almost done, the Investment and Securities Act. These are things that have signaled to foreign investors. We've also, I was at the NGX just about 2-3 weeks ago, speaking with investors, portfolio investors, also very welcome. They help to stabilize our economy, and the patient capital, engaging with venture capitalists and private equity. Lagos hosted a very big conference, global conference, about a month ago. And so the credibility is coming back. There's no shortcut. You see our ratings go up. The Finch ratings have already gone up. The NNPC reforms were well received. These are the things that it takes to continue to make Nigeria a progressively easier place to do business. The credibility, the trust, it has to be earned, and that is exactly what this administration is doing.
Okay. Madam Minister, there's, obviously, from just speaking to you, I know that you understand the pain, there are a lot of SMEs and Nigerians in business are going through, but sometimes I feel that our policies or initiatives are not communicated in a way that the average Nigerian would understand or feel like they can access or be, can access. A lot of people think that all this investment talk is just for a certain group of people up there. How have we communicated your initiatives so that the people at the grassroots are able to access and benefit from it?
So that's a very good question. And when you're speaking to different audiences, the message is slightly different. If you're speaking to a foreign investor, sophisticated investor, bringing billions of dollars into your economy, what you're selling and what they are looking for is one thing. Yeah. Dealing with Nigerian MSMEs, as you know, from PEBEC, I've done this for nearly a decade. You have to go granular. Yeah. You have to build that trust. You have to help them. So the agencies under this ministry, like NEPC, even has an NEPC Connect online. It's a webinar that helps MSMEs to know, where do I start from? Yeah. If I want to export my chin-chin to Nairobi, Kenya, what do I need to do? So the regulations are there. You can even check on their website. And then they have these seminars. So we handhold and we go around the country. We speak to agro exporters. If you want to export your sesame, what does it take? What kind of fertilizer should you use or not use? What kind of parasites? Because we want zero rejects. So it's very granular when you're supporting MSMEs, particularly for export. And so we have a central coordination committee for AFCFTA where all the agencies involved, from customs to NAFDAC to SON to CAC, everybody that's involved. We work with the Nigerian Governors Forum and the NEC, National Economic Council, to make sure that state governments are also involved. We work with all the commissioners of commerce to disseminate. We come on the media. We have a whole strategic communications pillar. I'm often speaking to the public. We have stakeholder engagement. We work with organized private sector, whether it's LCCI, MAN, NASIMA, NASMI. We continue to speak. It's an ongoing conversation. There's no beginning and end. You have to continue every day. So anybody that messages us, for instance, what is the challenge? Then we start addressing and educating. And so it's every opportunity to explain to Nigerian businesses that are at different levels. We have nano businesses all the way to our platinum business champions, which gross over $1 billion per annum. So you can imagine the spread and the communication skills that are needed for each audience.
Thank you, Madam Jumoke. We'll be taking a short break now. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.